And another article that was in the Denver Post last Sunday, September 9th. Now, this one, this was a Yang smear article just from the get-go. So here I'm, getting further into Yang media blackouts. So let's have some fun. This next article is about the Stockton, California UBI test that, the mayor over there is practicing, just to see how it would work. However, this is a smear job. The article is headlined, California City Tests Buzzy Campaign Idea for Income. As in, you have to be a pothead to come up with this. It's a smear job in bold print. And then they go on focusing on Kamala Harris's plan of $500 a month to working families in the state of California. And the article makes it sound like Yang did Trump's little Sharpie marker trick to do cute little editations. So it's basically sounding like Andrew Yang pulled a Buttigieg on Kamala Harris, just tweaking her $500 a month to working families plan, blowing it out to $1,000 and to everyone to buy votes and muscle out, as they're saying here, muscle out some better known candidates from the debate stages, which to all of us in the Yang gang know that means that Yang's gaining traction where the paper's favorites are starting to lose ground, and the Denver Post is a little cranky about it. So ain't that just so sad? So anyhow, this pilot program in Stockton, California, it's funded by, nonprofit agencies. One of them is the co-founder of Facebook. And so, it's founded by an agency, so it has to be kept small. Instead of Andrew Yang's value-added tax, which, taxes the luxury goods and services and robotic upgrades and softwares. So, it's focusing right away on how this is different from Yang because. And, and it also says, oh, this whole idea is a quote-unquote unusual experiment. And then it was started to test presidential campaign promises. And then it, that's when it mentions Kamala and Yang and accusing Andrew Yang of stealing Kamala's idea and turning it into something all blown up and outrageous. It's just absolutely laughable how they treat Andrew Yang and his policies. And they're also saying that Stockton's project is an independent one and has no connection to any presidential race. And that was the sentence right after they said that this is an unusual experiment to test presidential campaign promises. So you're left a little unbalanced. So, don't worry, they'll clarify this for you. This whole plan was anchored, Andrew Yang anchored his stealing Kamala Harris's UBI plan. He's anchoring his long shot bid for the presidency with a proposal to give $1,000 in cash to every American. It's helped him win unexpected support, which we in the Yang gang know means, like I said, he's gaining traction in spite of the Yang media blackout, in spite of all the silly little games that these reporters are playing. But the Denver Post is generous enough to interview two recipients of this Stockton plan, Susie Garza and Jovan Bravo. Now, these two volunteered, to make statements, otherwise they wouldn't be disclosed. So yeah, with Susie Garza, they barely mention her a little, enough to say that she has never heard of Andrew Yang, and that she loves this plan and uses it to pay for her phone bill, her vet bills, and getting her grandson's toys and the big bag of chips at 7-Eleven. And after, a while into the article, it says that her husband just lost his job, so they're very surprised and grateful for it, for this. Hey there, pardon the interruption. Hippie Click to Cope for Yang back at ya. I hope I was able to edit out the phone ringing. I'm thinking I might have a handicap-friendly job coming up as a call center rep. So I'm hoping that this, they say that they're, a good environment for, people who've experienced workplace barriers. So here's hoping that I might be able to take care of myself and my son. So, but anywho, I am back. Let's finish talking about this this buzzy campaign idea. And Denver Post, that's why I stopped subscribing to them. But anyhow, like I said, they barely covered Susie a little bit. Said that she'd never heard of Andrew Yang, even though she's receiving this program. She uses the $500 to pay for her phone bill, her vet bills, and getting her grandson's toys and the big bag of chips at the convenience store. And then almost at the end of the article, it says a sentence and a half about how her husband just lost his job. And so they've been, very grateful to receive the benefit and, amazed, it came kind of randomly to them. They were just kind of picked from a pool. So, not really much on her, and that she's been sober from drug use for 18 years. So, not really much to say, not really much progress in her life from this program. And then it goes on to Joven, the other recipient who volunteered to be interviewed. The two people outlined here did volunteer for the article. And so anyway, Joven is a construction worker with a wife and 3 children, ages 4, 8, and 13. And apparently he says he used to work all the time, weekends, long hours during the day, etc. And now he only works one Saturday a month instead of all 4. And, he loves the extra family time, and the family does too. So, it doesn't really say much about him either, other than, he's working less hours now. So it's basically telling about these two people, one of whom is, paying a couple of bills, but, spoiling her grandkids, but not really, making a huge impact in her life. And the other one, he's a hardworking individual who gets to take some time off, which is a good thing, but enemies of, a basic income policy will be right there to say, oh yeah, he's cutting his hours, he's cutting corners at his job. He's got to spend time with his family. When I was office manager at Fox Fence, we never saw our families. We were working all the time. So, it's completely invaluable to have time to hang out at home with the wife and kids, So, but, so that's a good thing. That is an impact. This is a guy, it sounded like he almost owns the business. So, that's good for him, but, it's still not a huge impact. He gets to take Saturdays off. But then the Denver Post goes completely off the parking lot again with their article. The Stockton idea was first implemented by Mayor Michael Tubbs of Stockton. He's, born and raised there. And, they do some great coverage of him. He rose out of a difficult family life, with his parents and his family and etc. I don't feel like disclosing that over the, but, this Michael Tubbs fought the system in Stockton, a Republican town, to bring unconditional cash to his beleaguered city, quote unquote, his beleaguered city. Just sounds all heroic. And he calmed the fears of the Republican skeptics to this plan. Sounds like really the stuff of legends here. But, and then it goes on to say that Mayor Tubbs also invented the Mattering scale, to measure the effectiveness of this UBI plan, basically to calculate how much we feel that we matter in our community. It sounds a lot like the human scorecard, but with more flowers and fluff. And it also bears a painful resemblance to, well, I'll say it, to Mayor Pete, stealing all of Yang's ideas and claiming, oh yeah, I've been working on this, I don't know anything about it, but I'm in support of it. This is, coming up with a completely different plan that's more like Kamala's conditional plan. I don't know. The Denver Post just focused too much on what's different from Yang's plan while using those differences to discount Andrew Yang's freedom dividend. And, of course, making the false claim that it's his only, he's anchoring his whole candidacy on this one goofball, weird experimental idea. You can't misrepresent Andrew Yang more, possibly. Oh, wait, yes, you can. The Denver Post goes on to mention Nixon's pilot in the worst light possible. Back in the 60s, a woman spent her benefit money on booze, and a gentleman went into debt on financed furniture in his government apartment. So, they took two of the hiccups in the system and put a big spotlight on them, like, here's what we can expect. No, it's not. That's few and far between. That's two idiots out of the whole group. But, they even admitted in the article that work wasn't reduced through Nixon's pilot program, and that he was able to expand on the program somewhat, although they didn't say by what, and that Congress didn't pass the measure. And then the Denver Post sort of grazes over the oil check in Alaska and the casino checks for the reservations. And, because those are the really successful programs, and we can't talk about that because we don't want to hear about success for a weird experimental idea. So, I don't know. The Denver Post really went all out to continue with the Yang media blackout and the smear campaign, which is really just yucky to witness, and that's what jaded me off politics to begin with, was, oh, here's a good guy, oh, let's smear him. It's just so dumb. But, it's fun to get involved with all you nice folks on YouTube and Twitter to, give honest, independent reporting. I'm not paid by a system to discuss this situation. I'm acting in the interests of, my family and my neighbors and my countrymen. We need Andrew Yang in office. So, have a blessed day, and I will continue in a little bit with the next article here. This is just funny. So again, thank you for tuning in to Hippie Click to Cope for Yang. Thanks for watching my video and, hearing me vent about the Yang media blackout as it's occurring in Denver, Colorado. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you wish. I'd really appreciate it greatly. It allows me to, know I'm doing an alright job providing Andrew Yang content for you and helping inform you about this whole campaign, because the mainstream media is trying so hard to block them out. So many of us are working together to tell you about Andrew Yang and his mission. So I know I'm not the best source of information, but I am trying very hard, and I'll be able to build up and provide more content soon. And I'm also planning very soon, within the next week or so, to start going out in and amongst, my neighbors in the Section 8 program and the homeless community here in Denver to, explain some of Andrew Yang's policies to them and ask them how it would impact their lives. Get the word straight from the people who need this the most. How would you be able to help yourselves with Andrew Yang's 160 amazing policy proposals? So, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sherry Kirchhoff-Stetzer. I love this new sign, by the way. And thanks for watching and hanging out. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and share my videos with your friends if you find me to be informative or entertaining. And I will be back at you with way more awesome stuff as soon as I can. Bless you guys. See you soon.